Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. You know what it is. Another episode of Vader Games TV. Why always me? Episode 112. Not 115. 112. So it's a late one. It's a late one. And because it's a late one, I'm gonna be very precise with my timing. You saw by the thumbnail, you see from the whole intro. I got a special guest tonight. I got a special guest, and it's very fitting because of the UCL, because of Champions League, because of the matchups that we've had in the past. Now, I want to first and do this. First things first, my peoples come first. My peoples those that are here, those that are no longer here, always thought of and remembered. But I'm gonna do this show nice and sweet. And I've got the timer up. We're gonna talk about the format briefly. We're gonna talk about the new UCL and what it all means. But we're also gonna do a breakdown because I got the one. I got the one. Let me find it right here. I got the one and the only. I don't know how he got the title of Judge Mo. I don't know if that's self-appointed or if he went to school or if he got any accreditations, but I got the one and only Judge Mo, and I promise you, he's going to be a lot calmer. It's not a watch-along. He's not cheering for his club. He's not watching the game being played. He's going to be nice and calm, so you don't have to adjust the volume on your headsets. Let me also shout out and point out the very first in the comments. This show in particular, True City fan, 2 a.m. Yes, late. I know, Patrick. It's late. Girl RK in the building. She goes, let's go. The tough one is out the way. That is so true. We'll speak on it. DC, my girl as well. She goes, let's go, Vader. Army, what's good, Sky Blues? Such a vibey. Hey, I like the vibe. The intro's nice. Thank you so much. And NCZ, what it do? Big up, Vader. You know what it is. All right, let me not delay. Let me bring the guest to the stage. Let me intro him properly. If you have not consumed or been interacting with his content, he features on a few channels, but he's got an excellent one himself. Judge Mo to the building, and let me do this properly. Vader game. Judge Mo, what it do? I know it's a late one, man. Thanks for being on the show this week. What you saying?
Alhamdulillah, bigger people that are watching us. Hit that like button if you're watching this now. If you're watching this on the replay, you know what to do. You like the video first and then you go and enjoy it. It helps the channel, helps Vader. Let's get Vader to 1K as quickly as possible, people. Share it on all your socials as well. If you have Twitter, if you have Instagram, just make sure to share it. Like the video, subscribe from your account, your mother's account, your father's account, your sister's account, your kid's account, all accounts. Just subscribe. Yeah. Big up everyone that is here. Listen, we'll talk about it all. But listen, great night, great football tonight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the game. Stressed, of course, doing the watch along. But listen, I'm calm now. I'm very, very calm.
You're very calm now. What did you do to calm down? What did you do to calm down?
It's actually, I've only had an hour for myself today. Just
Okay.
since I woke up. It's 8 p.m. now.
Yes.
And I have been working since 8 a.m. I've had an hour and a half for myself the whole day. It's a stream after a stream after a stream, watch along, then a stream, then a stream. So that is the 6th. Okay, basically, wow, this is my 7th stream of the day, actually.
7th?
I have been on 7 different streams today.
Not including your own?
Including mine. 2 of them were 3. Okay, 2 of them were on my channel. One of them was my channel with Hussam. So 3 basically were on my channel, 1 on Hussam. 2 on the football terrace today, actually, Street Facts and the match reaction. So it is kind of a little bit tough, to be honest.
Let me say this. The reason why, if any of you doubt or wonder, how did Mo get to where he's at? How did Mo's channel do what it's doing? How does Mo have the community that he has? He just explained it to you. Man's been up since 8, and he's still being generous enough to also be on my channel today on Vader Games TV, which is a first. I don't do many rival interactions. I'm looking to do more of it, but more in particular, it's about the conversations. And I want to have this conversation with regards to what happened tonight. And I'm going to do my best to stay with regards to the comments. I'll maybe put them on screen. When I don't, maybe say
Yes,
them
we
out
want to
loud.
have the people's comments. So I want to know what you guys think in the chat. So yes,
Oh.
hello, how are you doing, man?
DC wants to tell you hi. She wants to say hi first and foremost. So hi, Mo.
Hello, how are you? We need comments. People don't understand that comments drive conversation.
There's not enough tranquilizer. You know what I love about Mo? And this is the point with regards to as a fan, his approach to it. It's all on the surface. It's all on his sleeve. Like, listen, what he's thinking, what he's feeling in that moment, you're going to get it. And I think that's why he gets the interactions and he gets the people that tune in. Now, I know I got you for a brief amount of time. We're already 8 minutes in. I'm going to make sure that I don't keep you any longer than I discussed. But I'm going to put everything on a timer, right? That's what I do. It's how I stay on track. It's how we're able to know whether we're waffling and talking too much. But I want to ask you really briefly.
Yeah.
This new UCL format. What do you like about it? What do you kind of have your doubts about it? But first, talk about what you like about it.
There is so number one, there is I don't think there is anything to like about the new format.
Anything.
Because we get more games and everything, right?
Yeah.
We might get more good games, but like people say, yeah. For example, I'm just gonna say Inter play Arsenal, play Man City, play Bayern Leverkusen, play RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
It's good games, right? We play Monaco, you know what I mean? We play good games. But I think what that takes away from the fairness, I absolutely think that this is the most unfair thing that happened, to be honest. And I don't think it's fair at all. Like, I'm just gonna, for the people that, so the only positive thing that I thought is that basically we get more games. Like, we play more top
All right,
games.
Judge Mo. Let me do this. If you were the organizer of the UCL, talk about the positives of this new format.
The positives is just a new big game. That's it.
Okay. Now, can I also?
But I want to say something about this big new games, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the people that made this realized that more games doesn't mean more viewership, because you still have the same game. Like today, I had no idea that PSG played Girona, for example. If you want to consider this a big game, like, you still have one game that you will watch, or two games max. You won't watch 5 games in the same time. You just won't. You just can't do it. So it's big games, yes. People watch more highlights, but I don't think it's gonna be like, I don't think it's long. It adds, which is, I think people should not complain as much. The players, especially, like Rodri cried earlier.
Oh my goodness! No, Mo, no.
I said that to Martin earlier, and people didn't like it.
Yeah, they should like it.
I'm not gonna stay. We'll talk about the positives for it, because.
Okay, yeah. Let me hear this.
Okay, so then the problem is Rodri complained because he has to play more games, right? Well, he doesn't have to. The club has to.
Right.
And for a club like Manchester City and the clubs in the Premier League, you can choose to have more people in the squad. Lower your wages, Rodri, and whoever, and Rashford, or whatever, whoever is, and have another player to fill in your space in the places that, in the games that you don't want to, because you don't have to play every game. You just don't.
No. This is where you're way off. And you know what? We're gonna have to find a way to have these conversations more often. But this is why you're way off, because Rodri's not solely talking about club football. Rodri's talking about the entire calendar for football players.
Yeah, but that is completely. He needs to understand he's a football player, and these are completely different associations. You get my point?
No, he understands.
Like they don't mix. They just don't mix. Like,
no, they don't mix. But he's talking about the player's lifespan or the player's season. He's talking about international and club football, and he's saying No, when it comes down to this number of games, it's way too much. And I haven't done the exercise
I'm telling you,
yet.
he doesn't have to play the whole game. Why does he have to play every game? Tell me, what is so pressing that Rodri has to play every single game? Because I tell you, do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? I have the answer before you answer, because there is no alternative for Rodri, right?
Well, currently, no.
there is
There's
no
not a player-to-player alternative, but there is a system alternative. Yeah, okay.
yes, exactly. But why, for example, why Man City don't have another guy for Holland? It's a choice. They could have had another striker.
So
Holland cannot come out and complain like, oh, I have to play every game. Well, your club chose to not have another striker. It's your choice.
Yes.
Blame your club.
This guy's saying blame the club. The point what you're missing is this is a conversation for all football players. This is a conversation for all clubs. Now, the same way that many rivals would have like, hey, Klopp, shut up with you talking about too many games. When he was saying it, he was right. When Pep is saying it, he was right. With Rodri and KDB saying, listen, these fixtures, these number of games that are being played.
Football. I'm a fan. I want more football. I don't
care. Okay, you want more football, but this
I
is
want more
point.
football, bro.
You're
I don't care.
Squeezing the orange, and you're gonna get every last drop of juice out of there. And you know what?
But that's the point. I don't have to see every player play every game. I want more football. I don't care. I don't care if it's Rodri playing this game, Gundogan playing the next game. I don't care if it's Lautaro playing this game, Taremi playing the next game. It is on the teams to find the alternatives. That is my point.
Okay. All right. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I want more. Like as a fan, I pay money to watch the games. I want more games.
Yeah,
I pay subscription.
I think this is where the platinums that happen to be in my beard, maybe they're poking through a little bit on yours, but we're at a different stage. We're not player FC. We're for the club. We want to see our club play. We want to maybe see our nation play. Yeah. Many of today want to see a particular player play. They want to see the star player every time on a pitch.
That is their problem. I don't care.
Okay. All right. No, it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Never been a player fan over. Never been.
Rightfully so. You shouldn't be. Now, I'm going to say this. When we talk about positives, I think the format from an organizer standpoint, they get more games. They also get more games that are now of importance. We saw what the Champions League format was. At a certain point, you get so many games, so many draws. You know what? Your last two games really aren't that important. Really, because you know you're going to be advancing through. Now, maybe they're important because of where you want to be with regards to higher into the group standings. But overall, you know you're set. This format, from an organizer standpoint, I think there's a lot more jeopardy. There's no easy calculations to say, you've won so many or you have this many points based off of who you played so far. This is where you're going to net out because everybody still has to play. So I get that sense of jeopardy. I just think that the managers and the clubs, to your point, have that rotation and more so play for the longevity of the season, will have the success and will avoid early burnout in terms of the positives. Yeah, go ahead.
For the negatives, there is one more problem with the negatives.
All right, what you got for the negatives? Yeah.
Just before we move on from the format. It's the most unfair competition I've seen in my life, where my destiny, I'm going to explain to you. Martin actually said that earlier on my show.
Okay.
On Imaxit. He said, and I went and I looked, my destiny as a club is not in my hand, and it's not fair with the other teams that play me. For example, Inter can win games, right? Or Man City, but because Club X had an easier draw, I can be 9th instead of 8th. I can have a worse draw. You get my point? I'm going to explain to you.
Yeah, I get that.
You are the champions, right? You play the Italian champions.
I got to call bogus on this.
Hold on, I'm going to explain to you.
Okay.
You are ranked 1 in terms of like your country, but you play the champion of Portugal away from home. You play Juventus away from home. You play the champions of France away from home. You play the champions of Italy at home. Yes, so these are your games, right? Yeah. Juventus did not win their league. Do you know the only team that Juventus play that is a league winner?
They play us.
You know, only you. And do you know where they play you?
Yeah, they play over there.
How is that fair? But Juventus didn't win their league, But
Yeah.
they have an easier draw than Man City. But hold on. They can control Man City's destiny. Do you know how? Let's imagine you get points and you are 8th. But
Okay.
Juventus have an easier draw and they get 8th ahead of you because they had an easier draw than you. Now
Yeah.
you have to play 2 extra games, right?
Yeah.
But you played Juventus only 1 game and you guys completely play different teams.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? We don't play
Makes sense.
Juventus. How is Juventus gonna control Inter's destiny without me
Yeah.
playing them, number one, and with them
Okay.
having an easier draw? That is weird.
It is weird. It isn't as balanced as the previous format, but
Yeah.
even in the previous format, because you had your group stages, like for example, Manchester City last season could be top of their group and then be more favorable because of them winning every game when it comes down to the draw now of someone else in another group that were top of the group but didn't have as many points because maybe they had 3
Yeah,
tougher.
but it doesn't matter because they played the same team, this team. But you could have had an easier group so that it made sense within its own group. Now
It makes
we're
sense within
not.
the whole group until you're combined, which is there's flaws in kind of the both. But I hear that is messed up. That is messed up.
Bro,
And
Juventus play PSV, Leipzig, Stuttgart, Lille, Aston Villa, Man City at home, Club Brugge, and Benfica at home. I think this is crazy.
you know what that goes down to though? That goes down to how they did their whole coefficient or rankings going into the whole draw.
They
So
were a
that's
second pot team.
yeah, that's why it was messed up.
That is crazy.
That's why it was messed up. I'm with you on that one. All
Yeah,
right,
but that's the point. I think it's actually horrific, to be honest.
I'm still looking at how to criticize this properly, but that is a major flaw that I hadn't taken account. Let me do this.
Bro, Liverpool play Bologna, Leipzig. I'm sorry. Girona, Lille, PSV, okay, and AC Milan. Let me tell
And
you.
Real. Liverpool play Real, do they not?
Yeah, but hear me out then. Liverpool that didn't win the Premier League and came third. The tough 2 games they play. Where do they play?
Are they
At
playing them at
Anfield.
home?
Both of them.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So how are Man City going away to tougher teams? Well, the only 2 teams that I won my league.
I got it.
But I have to play the English champion away. When Liverpool, they get the German champion and the Spanish champion at home. That is crazy to me.
I'm with you. That's the refining part. That's where they're going to have to refine and reward
winning the league.
club.
Being in, I'm winning the league.
Yeah, I hear it.
I should get a favorable draw. How is Real Madrid, who won their league, go away to Anfield? Like, I won my league, and you're getting and you're sending me to the 3rd team.
To the 3rd team, I hear it. Real Madrid's going to own them at Anfield, though. That's going to be fun.
That's the point. The point is, it is unfair.
Yeah, it is unfair. It's not. The balancing needs to get tweaked, and that I am in full agreement with. But I do like the positive, and shout out. She goes, gotta say, most point about the onus being on the team to care for their players by finding alternatives is top. I agree. It is on the club to have to do what they have to do, not necessarily the players to have to tell them I can't play or I can't do as much. But I want to point out this whole balancing does need to get tweaked a little bit. We do need to find rewards for the clubs that are successful and the balance for who plays away and home on the tougher fixtures. I'm in agreement. Now let me do this so that we keep it nice and clean. Vader game. No, Mo. I got to be honest with you. As much as I was watching my game, I had your channel on.
Really?
I had your channel on occasion because I have multiple screens, so I wanted to watch my game and then see how I was reacting in excitement and good moments to how you might have been frowned or angry or disappointed with a player's performance. But I want to ask you, because I saw how you played the game, Mo. You're a veteran at this. You're smooth. You're calculating. You said, you know what, going into this game doesn't really matter. It's Manchester City at the Etihad. What am I expected to do going there? So you downplayed it. You followed what many would say the Liverpool script in terms of playing the underdog. But let me get your breakdown. Let me get your breakdown on the game overall? I know we spoke on the football terrace, but
I don't think this game matters
you don't think this game matters from a
for us.
toe to
It, was,
toe,
it didn't.
but toe to toe,
That
club
doesn't matter.
expected to win the league, club expected to win the league. No.
I actually was doing the preview for the game, and I was so upset that we rested players against Monza, right, away from home, which is supposed to be an easy game.
Okay.
And I said we should have played the full team against Monza, rested players against Man City, and then played the full team on Sunday against Milan.
What for Judge Mo, who values the Champions League so highly? Is it because of the change in format why you're taking that approach?
Because this game is the toughest game, and I'm not targeting this game. I'm targeting the other 7 games. If you win 6 games, you're top 8. So why I would risk my players playing against the toughest team when I have the smallest chance of winning the game? It paid off. I got a point. But that point, what doesn't matter? In the grand scheme of things, imagine if I get this point, and because my players are tired, I lose against Milan. Number one for me is that my chances of winning the Champions League is smaller than my chances of winning the league. If I rest my players and I don't win the league, I am messing up the league. And I am in a pool with 5 teams to win the Champions League.
No. You just said your chances of winning the Champions League are smaller, so you have more room for error in the league. So you should.
No, that's the problem. I don't want to leave the room for error in the league. That is the thing. You keep making errors in the league, you fall behind. That is what is happening.
Who's your biggest threat in the league? Who's your biggest threat in the league?
There's Juventus, nobody. But that's the problem. There is no one.
Okay.
There is no one. But we already drew we already drew 2 games that are winnable. Genoa and Monza. We smashed other teams. We smashed Atalanta, but we're gonna smash Milan this Sunday, right?
You're gonna smash them.
Yeah, they're got rubbish. But in the same time, I can't make these mistakes. My point is we cannot let it slip away because I'm resting players for a game that won't matter. People think that I care about playing Man City away. I really don't care in the group stage. This is not the knockout stages.
All right.
I'm going to tell you, if I lost this game 3-0, who gives a fuck?
Okay.
I win against Milan and I move on. I go to the next game. I play different teams, basically.
I hear that. I think let me go to the comments. TJ, good looking out with reminding everybody hit that like button. You're gonna say? Sorry about what?
No, go ahead. Do the comments and then I will do the.
Yeah, City should be beating these Italian scrubs at the Etihad.
You scrubs,
should have. I wouldn't call them scrubs.
It's not scrubs. It's not. Forget the scrubs. I think you're approaching this, Michael, the wrong way. If you allow me to respond to. Michael.
Of course, go ahead.
City should be beating anyone at the Etihad. Inter should be beating, and I said that. I said if any team if you consider yourself a top team,
okay,
Man City, Bayern Munich, Inter, Real Madrid, whatever.
Okay.
Any team that comes to your ground, Liverpool, Arsenal, any team that comes to your ground, you will be disappointed that you draw. It is not about scrubs. It is not about that, right? It is about, I think that Man City should beat any team at Etihad. So is my team. If Man City, by the way, came to our ground, I'm expecting to win.
Yeah. I hear that.
That's how I treat my club. Because what's the point of me being a league winner in one of the top 5 leagues if I'm not expecting anyone to come to my ground and I'm winning? What is the point?
I agree. I hear that. Michael, and I think Michael's emphasis is just you guys are obviously beatable. I do like how you guys were set up, and this is what
we're stronger than what we look because nobody watches us, but we're actually stronger than what we look.
What do you mean you're stronger than what you look?
Like Inter are stronger than the people think they are. We have really good players, like very good players. Like people don't know, but we have very, very good players.
I hear that, and you've got some injuries right now that you're kind of nursing through. Now, I got to shout out my gal. Sorry, this is my gal Rose. Thanks for tuning into the channel. She goes on to say, "Hey Bader, good night. I was hoping for the win today, but glass half full because City didn't lose or concede against Inter. The toughest game is behind us." Now, I have to agree. Looking at who we have to play in the full list of teams, I don't quite remember top of mind. But I marked Inter as the toughest game. Inter and Juventus were going to be our toughest games in the Champions League with this format. We've got this out of the way. Keeping a clean sheet spoke a lot, and we're going to speak on. Let me actually do this properly, because we should be speaking on the next topic. Now, with regards to the starting 11, we won't go into exact detail, but I gotta tell you, Mo, Ederson, Ederson kept this game a draw for us.
Yeah, in the first
Ederson,
half and the second, the beginning. Yeah.
Ederson, this goalkeeper that everybody want to crap on and say he's a footballer, a midfielder in net. Ederson showed why I've been saying he's the best keeper in the league. And what he did for us against you guys, because you had some quality chances, you had some numerical advantages. Again, sometimes the shots weren't of quality that you expected, but Ederson was that guy. And I want to say, leaving with a clean sheet at home versus you guys, having played you in the Champions League final, was big because we weren't at our best. I know you'll also mention based off of your 11 that you weren't at your best, but
No,
this
the
is
players, both offensive players had really off days. Both. Marcus
yeah,
Thuram had a completely off day today. Like the guy scored already in the league. Like for some reason, he didn't have shooting boots. So
yeah,
as other players, for
yeah,
you,
yeah.
like for some
Gundogan's
reason,
guys,
both teams were very nervous in front of the goal. Very
yeah,
nervous. Bro, Bernardo Silva completely missed a pass, and
yeah,
so did the other side. Marcus Thuram completely missed it on the other
yeah.
side, and it's crazy how we're talking about that. Both
And it
teams are
spoke.
really nervous.
I think it also spoke to the magnitude of the game. I think it spoke to how the players themselves remember that we faced each other in the Champions League, and I think it carried that extra weight. But I want to ask you, how many players were missing from what you would consider your best 11?
2,
Did
3. So basically, Pavard on the right side instead of Bisek, who had a magnificent game, by the way. DiMarco on the left instead of Carlos Augusto, who
yeah,
was amazing. And Lautaro Martinez up top. So 3 starters. But the bench is not that bad. Mahdi Taremi looked good. Bisek looked amazing. And Carlos Augusto looked good. So the bench were good. But this basically 3 players, and I'll have my best starting 11.
3 players missing from your starters. Okay, you're lagging out a little bit, but everybody was able to hear you. I think now when I look at my squad, I hated seeing Savinho and KDB subbed off in that second half. To start the game was great to have them there, but I don't know what Pep's going to do with regards to the best 11. And I know this is going to sound like rich man problems, but he started that game without Foden. So I don't know how he's going to decide on what his best 11 is. I don't know if he actually thinks that having having Stones and maybe pushing Akanji at right back and not Rico Lewis is probably what he's going to do for his best 11. I don't know, but I do know that Rodri and you went out of your way to talk about Rodri's performance. I think the fact that Rodri's only played a half so far for the season showed in this game, and we're a lot better than what we were tonight.
Mateo
We're a lot
Kovacic,
better.
in my opinion, the best starting 11 for City at the current moment is Akanji, Diaz, Gavardiol, Rodri, Kovacic, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Doku, Phil Foden, and Erling Haaland. Simple.
That's a good shout, even though we haven't seen much of Foden yet. But yeah,
But
that's not. I
this
hear
is
what
it.
you're
To
saying.
be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Doku instead of Grealish, Foden instead of Savinho, and I think Kovacic instead of Rico Lewis. I feel,
Yeah.
Rico Lewis today was really not effective both in both sides. Yeah, he was passing the ball around, but I thought he left Rodri exposed many times, by the way, in that midfield.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah. It's funny because he was inverting on the right and the left. He had like he was right back, but he had like a free roam because he was often on the left side of the pitch at times. So I don't know what the instructions were. But we're gonna be a lot better. And again, like the comments said earlier, we faced the toughest. We faced the toughest in this group stage. So I think we're gonna be a lot better moving forward. I also want to point out. Let me go to my oh, what is Michael's saying the players are Prem rejects. He's talking about some of the players currently playing.
To be
over
honest
at
with you, Michael, that says a lot about you more than what it says about Inter. Just to be honest, if you say that.
I thought you guys had Lukaku, very good players.
We have,
Oh,
to be honest
yeah,
with you, we have Bisek, Bastoni would get in your starting 11.
you know what I want to say, Mo? Mo, let me say this.
But Barella
You know
would get in
how
starting 11.
you know how in
100%.
Champions League you said, "Oh, Lukaku cost us. He was wasteful in front of the net."
But he actually changed the game in that final. But we're not going back to the final.
We won't go back to the final, but scoring isn't easy. You know how sometimes we look at these chances and we're saying like, "Oh, that should have those." That
No, but
should
he
have been a goal.
literally he was lazy.
Okay.
He
We
stood
won't
in
revisit.
front. He stood in front of the goal. The ball was going in the back of the net. We could have won the game, and he just lazy because he did the same thing in the Europa League final about 5 years ago. So he is a lazy player sometimes. Yeah, go ahead. Not
All right.
different.
I'm not mad at that. I'm glad he's not my player. I'll tell you that.
I'm so glad he's not my player now, even though he's banging goals.
He is.
Vader game.
Now, let's also talk about. Oh, actually, I need to move this. My bad.
All right.
Is there anyone in particular over at Inter that you're like, I'm surprised at how good they're looking. I'm surprised at how good they're playing.
Yeah. Jan Bisek, the center back, looked phenomenal. Carlos Augusto, the wing back, looked very, very good. And Zelinski looked very, very good. Mahdi Taremi looked good. But the rest are Marcus Thuram was not good.
So does this
Darmian
give
was not
you?
good.
Does this give you Is this the confidence why you say you're winning the league? Because of how these
No, we
players-
have the best. We have the best team by far, and we have the best coach by far, and there's nobody close to us. Antonio Conte probably is the better coach than Inzaghi, but we have way better team than them, than Napoli, and we have way better team than Juventus, and we have way better team that we have better coach than Juventus. So
not okay. So
no
not
one is
winning the
close
league,
to us.
not winning the league.
I might be a manager's out if we don't win the league.
Wow.
Even though we
And
won
now-
the league last season. Yeah.
Okay. And then cup runs, balancing cup runs, the league, and
Only the
Champions League.
Champions League and the league only. I'm expecting semi-final of the Champions League and winning the league at least. That is my minimum requirement this season.
Okay. All right.
Minimum requirement.
Minimum.
If we win the league and we get to quarterfinal of the Champions League, I'll be all right. But if we don't win the league and we get knocked out anywhere in the Champions League, less than semi-final, that manager has failed this season.
And does he have any money in the bank because of winning the league last season?
I don't do that. He already fluffed 2 leagues. So here's the thing: when he took over, So he took over a winning team. Okay, this is the story with this guy. He's a very good coach. I love the guy. He took over a team that won the league.
Yeah.
And fluffed his lines and lost the league to Milan, who is very weak. Right? So we were the better team.
Wait. The year that Milan won it, you're saying we were
the better team. We were the better team, of course, that year.
Okay.
We actually came from Antonio Conte's season, who left the club, and we were the better team. So we should have won the league. The year after, Napoli were amazing and they won the league, but we barely scraped top 4.
Okay.
Right? And we reached, what saved them is the Champions League final.
Okay.
Right? But we had a favorable draw, but you only can beat what's in front of you.
Yeah.
The season after, he won the league. I am not that guy to sit here and say a manager with 1 league title in 4 years is good enough for Inter, especially when I have the best team.
1 league final, Champions League final.
Who cares? Did we win the Champions League?
Wow. City in the chat, City fans in the chat, like the expectations. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at what.
No, we are the best team in the league, bro. Here's the thing: we are not the best team in the Champions League, but we are the best team in the league. So it's like if you are the best team in the league and you don't win the league, that's a failure, right? No matter what happened before.
Yes, it's a failure of a season, but not a sacking offense.
Okay, so what do we do then?
You strengthen. You improve.
We are the best team in the league on paper.
Yeah, but you can have the best players on paper, but maybe tactically instructions. That's
I'm
where
not
it's
gonna
like,
say
you know what?
I'm not gonna go and say sack the guy because I don't
Okay.
think anybody is better. He still has 1 year, but I'm still gonna have questions about not winning the league. Simple.
Okay. All right. Let me shout out my man Edison. So Edison, just so everybody knows, Edison and I, my first name's Vader, my last name's Games. We linked up. We met up over playing over FIFA. Edison is a AC Milan fan, so he's been a fan for life. My guy, he supports the channel. He goes, "What are you waffling on about Milan?" I guess the reference to them winning the season, Mo saying that Inter Milan were the better club, but didn't perform to their level when AC Milan had won it. So I think that's the point that he's making there, Edison. But I don't follow the league like that. I do remember Edison
Okay,
being
so
ecstatic.
the season before that, we won the league by 12 points.
Okay, that's a tight win. No,
12 points. 12.
that's 4 games.
That's not a tight win. We won that. We gave up the last game or two. We literally
Okay,
won the league. We won the
okay,
league early. The season
all right.
after, we regressed.
Now you regressed. Okay, I didn't follow it. I don't know if clubs got better. I don't know if.
We didn't get better. We sold one of our better players in Lukaku
Okay.
and Hakimi at that time. Right? We sold two of the best players, but at the same time, we still should have won the league. But anyway, that's the
All
point.
right, I'm not mad at that. And again, those comments in the chat, I see you, Mike. I mean, I'm not bringing them all on screen. You can have a difference of opinion with regards to Mo and the quality of their league and club. But the point that I want to emphasize is Inter and the league themselves. The fact that Mo is saying it's league automatic, everything else, I'm expecting semifinals. But the league, he wants that, and I've said this for many times. You should always want to dominate in your domestic league. You should
Yeah,
always want to be
100%.
the best at home.
If Inter
That
aren't dominating now, there is no point. But same as
yeah,
Manchester City at the last 4 years. Like you have to dominate. But anyway,
100%. Now, let me also say this, Mo. The who needs to improve? Is it some of your veterans that need to keep their level?
no,
Is
some of
it
the players need to really get Darmian. We need improvement on Darmian. Marcus Thuram need to get better in these games. Lautaro Martinez need to get better. These are the players I'm looking at, and I'm like, you
you
need
think
to.
Lautaro can get better?
No, he can. That's his level.
That's his yeah. He just needs to you just need a healthy version of him.
I don't like the guy. I don't think he's a top player anyway.
A lot of your fan base are trying to prop him for Ballon d'Or, to be
They
honest
can
with you.
do that. I never liked the guy. After this first season, I never liked him. He's slow, short, not physically strong. Doesn't have the greatest touches. Today, he couldn't even
Yeah,
control the ball under any press.
touches are poor. Poor.
Like I saw this today. How is the ball played to you and you can't even put it under control? How are you a top player?
Yeah.
You are our
don't
outlet, and you can't. And you're our outlet, and you can't even control the ball and put it under control. Come on now.
I don't rate him. I don't rate him. All right, we won't spend much time on who needs to improve. Over at Manchester City, I'll say this real quick. And I know you don't like this player because of how he plays the game, but all I want from my wing play, I want Savinho to understand Pep's system. I want Savinho to know that he can be just as deadly attacking, but know that he's got a responsibility tracking back. Because I noticed a few times, and I credit to Inter, when you guys would win possession, it wasn't a quick ball over top. It wasn't like a cutting pass into the attack. Shout out to my man Jacob over at United Spurs of America. He goes, big up
Frogs.
motivator.
They got away with it, but fine.
Yeah, he's a happy man tonight. He's a happy man tonight. Lucky with the 2-1 win.
Enjoy.
Yeah, no Ange out for the time being. But you guys did carve through us pretty quickly in terms of getting on the attacking end. And what I don't like, and you tried to emphasize that you're taking shots at Rodri. What I don't like was everybody in your midfield ready to commit and run back on the attack, run on the counter. And that's where I was pointing out Savinho needs to have the same urgency getting forward as he does getting back. And I think he'll get there. My improvements on what I want to see, who I want to see improve, is Savinho on the wing. I want to see Jack Grealish improve attacking on the wing. And if there's anything I want to see a little more of, I need to see us trust that kind of carving pass. I don't know if you see this yourself, Mo, when you're watching on the opposite end, but when City were in possession, I'm like, release that ball to Silva, release it to KDB on the edge of the 18. Let's get a couple 1-2s or a little flick on. I see that not happening enough. That's where I want to see some improvement. But yeah, we move. Let me point out what Jacob has to say. He goes, never in doubt. Sure, if you, I gotta check out his post view. I gotta check out his post match. I'm sure he was stressing. Michael goes, the Bob kid is better than Savinho.
You haven't even seen
Players.
Oscar Bob play
Different
enough
players,
to
yeah.
say like you haven't even seen him. But anyway,
Different players. Let's give that some
I
time.
think Savinho is good. I don't think Savinho is bad at all.
You don't think Savinho's good enough?
No, I don't think Savinho is bad as people say.
Oh yeah. I agree.
I think he's good.
I think he is very good. Jacob also goes on to say, Ange, my gaffer. All right.
Yeah, me, Jacob. Okay.
I know what you did there. Milan has top players but no system. All right, Edison, you're the AC
Milan
fan.
have no commitment though. That's the problem.
Who's the
Very
biggest spenders right now in Syria?
Juventus.
Juventus. Okay. All right. And last improvement I want to see is, honestly, I need to see a very slight change in Rico. I like how he is in possession. I need to see a little more grit defensively. That's me, just, I guess, if I'm going to be a little overly critical. Now, next topic. And let me do this because I want to hear this from Mo. This is going to be interesting. Vader game. Mo, tell me about Real Madrid. Everyone wants to tell me that they're the standard. Everybody wants to tell me that they're
about what? I haven't watched one game for Real Madrid this season.
Do you think you haven't watched one game? Okay, fair enough.
I'm being honest, bro. I haven't watched one game for Milan this season, bro. Not once.
Real Madrid, you haven't seen one game of Real Madrid?
Not one game this season. I don't have time.
Okay. When it comes down, let me just ask you then, maybe not with regards to how they're playing this season, but to summarize, they haven't quite gelled. The Mbappe experiment is still experimenting. They don't seem to have that flow. Obviously, the confidence is now there because they've been rewarded, in my opinion, an unusual amount of penalties. But it seems like Mbappe's got going again, Vinicius, but they don't look cohesive. They don't look like they're flowing. But when it comes down to Champions League, all right, and you kind of said this earlier, you didn't really give a great sign of approval for your squad, Inter Milan. But who do you think can beat Real Madrid?
We can beat Real Madrid, Man City can beat Real Madrid, Bayern Munich can beat Real Madrid.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't think like you have Mbappe, Vinny, and Rodrigo, Chouameni. They don't have Toni Kroos anymore.
If you face Real Madrid, do you think you can get a draw?
100%, yeah.
Okay. No one cares about Madrid anyway. That is so not true. Now, I think we got City, we got Inter, because of, I think, the approach that can be taken. I would agree with you, Bayern, even before they put up the 9 goals that they did. But again, I know it's different competition, but I think as much as many want to crap on Vincent Kompany, I think you are one of them, Mo. I think you're one of them that say Vincent Kompany wasn't that manager when you saw his performances in the
No. I mean, that's not the point. I don't think you understood the point. The point was he was praised for playing the same system that he played in the Championship while getting relegated. But other people don't give the same treatment. For example, for Russell Martin for Southampton, who plays very progressive football, pass from the back, everything, but he lost every game.
But I think it's because of the dominance that was shown in the Championship. There was so much dominance that what he brought.
But he got relegated. The club lost because of him. Burnley lost money because of him. He didn't adapt. You agree or you disagree? If you go to the
No, I
Premier League
wouldn't.
and you have championship players, you need to adapt. You need to change the way you play because it didn't. Because clearly it didn't work.
I would
It
agree.
didn't work. You remember Norwich got relegated doing the same thing.
Yeah, but a lot
We
of
know
clubs
that
go.
Southampton will get relegated because of that, and it's much harder to cope in the Premier League if you don't add Premier League quality.
No, I agree with that as well, but it's also very common for there to be the yo-yo coming up from the championship, coming out of the Prem, coming
If
up.
they hired someone else other than Company, they would have had a bigger chance of staying in the league.
Ooh, that I don't know. I don't know. That's easy
Why?
to kind of because it's kind of easy to kind of say, but traditionally we see appointed championship teams crash out of the Prem.
You
To-
need to adapt. That is my point. I
Okay, that's a fair
I
point, but
watched the Bayern game now. They look way more fluid. They look very, very good. Bayern Munich now.
yeah,
They look
yeah,
very good. That's down to him, by the way.
I
It's
agree.
only him to get the credit.
It's night and day to
Now,
compare when Tuchel was there
can
because they
I
did
ask you
not look good.
something? Do you believe
Yeah.
if Ange Postecoglou takes over Bayern Munich or takes over Manchester City, we will see great performances? I think so.
Ange?
Yeah,
Ange?
yeah.
I don't know.
Because he will be superior. And by the way, people does not need to understand. Vincent Company has the most superior team in the league, so that style of play will work. It will
Yeah.
work in
Okay.
that because you have the best players.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Anyway, that's the point.
I think Vincent Company and the Bayern experiment, and I haven't done this the same way you haven't seen Real Madrid play. I haven't gone to see what the other clubs have to do in Champions League. I won't keep you much longer. We got one more topic. I haven't looked to see who does Bayern play, like the whole new format, the bigger teams that they have to play. I haven't looked to see on what the storylines might be for Vincent Company, Bayern Munich against some of the other traditional tough, difficult teams in
They play
Champions.
Barcelona away, they play Aston Villa away, they play Paris Saint-Germain at home, but that's about it.
All right. So then our report cards, our assessment of Vincent Company against kind of like
If he goes to Aston Villa and win, if he goes to Barcelona and win, fine.
all right, we'll have that conversation. I mean, Pep's disciples, Pep's branches of assistant managers that he's now pollinated all over the world. It's great. It's great to see.
Vincent Company was never a Pep disciple.
Vincent
He was
Company.
a Pep player. He was a Pep player. He never coached under Pep.
No, he didn't coach under Pep, but
okay.
the tutelage, the learnings of a player.
Okay, from Pep.
Yeah,
that's what you mean. That's what you mean. Okay. Like Xavi, like Xavi Hernandez. Okay. But they were never they were never learned how to coach under Pep. They were just players.
They were just players. Yeah, the same way Benny would look at Xavi and say he's a player under Pep, a player under Jose, having learned and experienced. That's the whole thing that I was kind of going at.
Probably.
Now, I need you to be honest, Mo. I know you do a lot of content with Don Hussam. I know you do your own channel. You have a lot of other panel members. This last topic, I need you to be really honest with me. I need you to, for everything that you've learned, talking to them, hearing from them, I'm going to need you to really break this down for me. Let me move this around. And let me also make sure. And I'm going to get to the comments. Thank you, everyone in the comments and being a part of the show. Now, Mo, I need you to be completely honest. You're covering the Prem now. You see these clubs on a day-to-day basis. You hear the feedback from the fans themselves as well. Now, why Liverpool and Arsenal, why can't they win the UCL?
No, Liverpool can win the UCL and Arsenal.
Liverpool can win the UCL.
And Arsenal can win the UCL, of course.
Are you going to tell me because of a favorable draw?
No. Arsenal actually are a team now that the way they play, they're actually very, very suited to a cup competition.
Okay.
The reason why, because Arsenal now are doing what somehow Pep Guardiola did in the treble season, where they're adapting. But what Arsenal are doing, that they're adapting in the league. If Arsenal adapt, the key to win the Champions League is for you to be an adaptable team, because you are facing opposition that are not as easy as in the league. Because when you get to the latter stages, you are facing teams that don't fear you as much as the teams in the Premier League, for example.
Okay.
That's why when you faced Inter today, Inter were like, "Oh, we're gonna start playing from the back." We're gonna literally pass the ball to the goalkeeper and try to play from the back.
Yeah.
So Arsenal now are a very adaptable team. When you are an adaptable team, you're closer to in a cup competition, actually, than actually in the league. Against Pep Guardiola, right? You need a system that will work against 17 or 18 teams out of the teams you play. In the cup competitions, which is why Thomas Tuchel, by the way, won the Champions League with Chelsea, is that because he's so adaptable. Every game is different.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He was a new addition, not figured out. There wasn't enough training footage or study video on him, and I think he had a very well thought out plan to use the information that he had in front of him with regards to Manchester City and Pep and what he did his first season over at Chelsea. But I want to go back to the conversation when we had earlier. Who can beat Real Madrid? Because you would have to beat Real Madrid to win the Champions League.
Real Madrid are beatable. Real Madrid are always a beatable team. It's all about
So
the
you
focus
look
and
at
the
Liverpool.
concentration.
You look
It's
at
all about the
Liverpool and you look at
concentration.
Arsenal. I hear that.
It's all about
So
the concentration.
looking at Liverpool and Arsenal, they could beat a Real Madrid. I know
Yeah,
you haven't watched.
but Bayern Munich last season were one of the worst Bayern Munich, and they almost beat Real Madrid if it wasn't for a lapse of concentration.
Okay.
So they are beatable. Real Madrid are in that team that is not beatable. They are beatable.
Okay.
If you get Man City lost to Real Madrid because of penalty kicks. Like Real Madrid are beatable. They aren't.
I'm with you. Now, short list.
And
City.
they don't have the experience that they had before. Luka Modric is not. It's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
Toni Kroos retired, so they don't have that much of experience. They have youth, they have runners, they have Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo.
You're seeing a weakness at Real.
Yeah,
compared to
both
previous.
Toni Kroos, Casemiro, and Modric. That is the team. And then after Casemiro left, it was Toni Kroos as well. Toni Kroos led that midfield, directed everyone. He was the director. They don't have that anymore. You will need to become a Camavinga, you need to be Chouameni, and they aren't the same.
Okay. I like that. I'm gonna pay more attention. Like you said, I don't like the format with so many games because you can't actually take time and watch and study and pick up on what these clubs are doing in the Champions League. I'm gonna get to the comments. I see you all. Good looking out. Raza goes, Vader, Pep need to find a solution for these teams like Inter and Arsenal and Madrid because they're gonna park the bus and beat our press at times. I think Pep will figure it out, Raza. I know
what Pep is gonna do.
Oh, I know what Pep's gonna do. You want
he's gonna do he's gonna do what Real Madrid. He's gonna do what he did with Real Madrid when Real Madrid parked the bus. He literally gave Real Madrid the ball and dropped deep and hit Real Madrid on the counter to get the equalizer in the triple season 1-1 away at Madrid. And he did that with Brentford. Did you notice what he did with Brentford? He's like, I'm gonna let you come at me and I'm gonna have the spaces behind you as well. He's adaptable now.
I think the adaptability of the treble winning season was phenomenal. Also, I think what he does later on is he doesn't commit as much forward as well. We won't have to commit our fullbacks that far up the pitch like we in a treble season.
I don't have to press every single time. I'm gonna drop deep and let you have the ball. So when I get the ball, I have spaces to run at you. He's gonna do all of this. He's gonna change.
Yeah, no need to respond to this one, but
no, I am happy with the draw away at the Etihad. It's a good point.
It's a good draw, and Mo, I gotta say this, and I won't.
People need to understand this is our toughest game, right? And we're playing it away from home. So a point. By the way, this is a point gained for us. Yes, in the game, I thought we could have won the game.
Yeah.
But at the end, if you look at the end, we would have looked at this and said, "This is a good point for Inter."
It is a good point, but what I want to emphasize, and I didn't get a chance to say this on the football terrace, but the whole thing with regards to when everybody were trying to say City just want teams to open up so that they can get slapped and dominated and win. No, we're not saying all that. What we're saying is teams that come and actually play, like Mo, in my opinion, you guys came out to play more in this game than he did in Champions League. And I get it. A Champions League final, there's a lot more.
No, we looked the same.
No, you did not. No. You did not look the same.
We passed from the back. Onana bypassed the press. We're not going to visit that game again. Go watch it.
We're not going to revisit that game, but you did not look the same as a Champions League final. But I'll say this. When all City fans were saying Arsenal, when Roger was saying mentality, he's saying you guys could have played to go for a win. They did not go to the Etihad and play for a win. They came to the Etihad to play for a draw because they were doing the math and saying, okay, we'll keep this gap between City and Arsenal another day further, another game.
We definitely played for the. I actually saw from minute one Inter played to win the game, to create chances to score.
Exactly.
Minute one, it was very obvious. It was very obvious that the instructions for the goalkeeper: don't hoof the ball forward.
Yes.
For the fullbacks, don't hoof the ball. Make sure you connect your passes to get to the City's area.
Yep.
That is a way. It's like we're gonna win the game. We're not just gonna hope for the best.
Exactly, and make Savinho, make Grealish have to track back, make KDB, who's very advanced, have to track back as well because you guys ran downhill on us. All we were saying is, if you go and play to attack, you can get a result. You can get a win. Arsenal were not trying to do that last season. Inter were doing that in this game and could have had joy with the win.
We'll see what he does Sunday. We'll see what Arteta does.
Yeah, that's going to be a big game. Now, I see everyone in the comments. I'm going to take some time. I told Mo, I'm going to keep you for an hour. No more, no less. We're closing in on that hour, and I want to thank my man for being on the show. It's the very first. I've had the invite out for other shows, not necessarily Why Always Me. Mo said, listen, Vader, I'm there. What time can we work it out? The man told you he's been up since 8. I'm not going to keep him up any longer. He's got a beautiful wife to get back to.
I need to eat as well. I need to eat dinner. I haven't had
You got to
food
eat as well.
all day.
100%. So, Mo, I know you got shows lined up. Anything you want to talk about for you got tomorrow?
Yeah. Tomorrow we got Saeed, Hussam, and Martin. That would be a hell of a show at 2 p.m. UK time. I got to wake up at 7 in the morning again. And then in the evening, we have the Arsenal boys after the Atalanta game.
All right. I will
if
be
they
there in
don't
the
win,
comments.
it will be hell. You can join. You can absolutely join. Send you the link.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, send me the link. Send me the link.
It will be, bro, if Arsenal lose tomorrow, it will be not good for them. But anyway, listen.
No. Love as always, Mo. Thanks for being on the show. Rose, my gal, says Mo's right.
I haven't seen her for a while, so I haven't seen her in my comments for a while because she thinks I hate Man City, so that's why they don't watch me now.
You kind of do. You kind of do.
I am very open about it. Listen, I want anyone to win the league apart from Manchester City because I don't want anyone to dominate the league because it's bad for the league. For me, it's good for you.
I want anyone other than Inter to win your league.
Because we won the league last season, you want different winner. Simple.
No, just because you don't want us winning over here. I don't want you winning
see
over
the difference. I don't think like that, but fine.
But listen, Mo, I won't keep you. Thanks for being on the show, my guy.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
continued success. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Now, that was Judge Mo. And if you haven't subscribed to his channel, his link is in the actual title description of this video. And this is the newest episode of Why Always Me, episode 112, 112 episodes. The battle with Inter was epic. I'm really happy with the result because they are a difficult team because of how they play that style. And I think it's good prep. I think it's good preparation for what we're going to face versus Arsenal on Sunday. Because trust me, Arteta is parking that bus. Arteta is playing all ultra. For those of you that played FIFA, now EA, he's playing ultra defensive. And he's going to try to get whatever result he can, a draw. The fan base, the emotional Arsenal fan base, going to like, we went to the Etihad. They haven't been able to beat us for whatever number of games. They're going to be loving all of that. I just want to see us have the proper approach. Let me shout out the comments in the building. We got Steven goes, big up, my dude. Ray goes, big up to the fraud Mo. No, Mo was a great guest. Really appreciate his point of view, especially after a Champions League and the day that he had. How do you think you'll set up against Arsenal, Mo, at Milan? That's his conversation. Hopefully he'll talk about closer to that. And sorry I didn't catch that earlier. Michael goes to say, Ollie Tactics is now called adaptable. All these buzzwords. I'm gonna use that. All right, Sam in the building. Smash the likes on the way out, people. Trust me. Please hit that like button. I had Mo on. We had an hour show. It's now 10 o'clock out here. I'm not going to keep you up much longer. And if you're tuning in on a replay, thank you so much. Hit that like button. Drop a comment, even if it's not live. I check all the comments. I interact We discussed all of these topics, devoting a little over 5 minutes per conversation. Now, everyone that took the time to comment, my gal Rose, DC in the building, the girl RK, Ray, Michael, RSM in the building as well. Jacob showed some love. Edison, AC Milan fan. I know he wasn't liking the Inter talk, but he was in the building nonetheless. And who did I miss? TJ, that fraud. TJ was in the building. Much appreciated TJ being part of the show. Cisco and my girl DC was the very first in the building with True City Fan and NCZ. Good looking out, everybody. I'm so thankful for the interactions, the likes, the comments. I've got an intro that I play with, and I'm gonna continue to add to it. If you like the vibe of this show, if you want to know what my content has been like, please stick around for this outro. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. I'm in the background for a little bit. But I look forward to doing CIA Intelligent Agendas. It's normally tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time. That's 3 o'clock my time over here. But this new Champions League format, has games going on, and I don't think it would make sense to conflict. I also know my CIA fellow agents are going to be collecting some important information with Arsenal playing tomorrow. So we're going to postpone the timing. So please subscribe so you know when I'm live. You'll get the notification and you'll see when CIA Intelligent Agendas with other fellow City fans obviously interacting on that one. So don't miss out. Much love to everybody. Thanks to Judge Mo being a part of the show, one of the first to interact on Why Always Me as a rival. And you were able to enjoy episode 112, closing in on 115. Enjoy this outro. I'm going to continue to add to it. Much love on Bitter Games, and I'm out.